Hello there, dear friends, and welcome once again to the Relaxed Fantasy Review. Today, we're continuing our series on Sebastian Crow's Guide to Drakkenheim, looking at the brand new subclasses that they've added in the book. And today we're talking about a Barbarian. This Barbarian is called the Barbarian, the Path of the Old Gods. In the worlds of Drakkenheim, which, if you don't know, is a campaign that was created by my fellow YouTubers, the Dungeon Dudes. Fantastic channel. If you haven't checked them out, you totally should. But in their campaign, they created this eldritch world of Drakkenheim, a horror campaign. But within this world of Drakkenheim, the religion of the world is the religion of the sacred flame. There aren't several temples all over the continent that people worship different gods like in most D&D worlds. All religions have been replaced with this singular sacred flame kind of monotheistic vibe. But there are still those who remember the ancient traditions of worshipping old gods, and this barbarian draws their power from those ancient deities. We'll get into the details in just a moment, but before we do, I'd like to let you know, Relaxed Fantasy Review has memberships. For just $1 a month, you can support me here on YouTube and get a couple benefits. First, you get a little badge next to your name in the comments, letting folks know that you're a supporter. But also, you get early access to the videos. I upload videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I upload them a day early for members only. So if that interests you, you can click the join button just below the video down there. If it doesn't, that's totally fine, I understand. I'm still thankful for you being here and appreciate you supporting my content here on YouTube. So the Old Gods Barbarian starts off with a cool power straight away. They get the power Brute Strength. They gain proficiency with improvised weapons, which is an interesting concept, the idea that you don't need, a big maul or a giant sword or whatever. You can just grab a rock or a big tree branch or something, or a piece of furniture, and just smash it over someone's head. That's a cool idea. But what's more is that when they use an improvised weapon, or any weapon that isn't a light weapon. Light weapons are, things you can dual wield, hand axes, short swords, daggers, etc. Whenever they use an improvised weapon, a non-light weapon, or an unarmed strike, they can treat the damage as a D12. It also gains the heavy and the thrown property. All this happens when you're raging, by the way. So you can pick up anything, pretty much, that you can pick up, some sort of weapon, and it immediately has the qualities of the heavy and the thrown. So you can pick up big weapons and hurl them at people. If it doesn't have a specified distance, it gains a thrown property of 30 feet with normally and 60 feet with disadvantage. And it becomes D12. I want to reiterate that. D12. Your unarmed strikes are D12 weapons. And any stick or rock you can pick up is a D12 weapon. And now you can't dual wield these weapons because they can't be light, and you can't dual wield light weapons, but seriously, I've never seen a class that I've wanted to take the dual wielder feat more, because it lets you dual wield weapons without the light property as long as they're one-handed. So you grab 2 warhammers, and now instead of dual wielding D8 weapons, you're dual wielding D12 weapons. And there's more even. As you attack creatures once per turn, when you attack, you can automatically attempt to grapple said enemies. So that's kind of wild. And then as a little bonus, if you're a small race, small races have this disadvantage where if they try to use heavy weapons, weapons that are detailed as heavy in the book, they have disadvantage automatically. This stops halflings and gnomes and small fairies and stuff from using really big weapons. Like they can't use great swords or long bows or anything. They have to stick with smaller weapons. This barbarian says they don't care. You could be a 3-foot tall gnome and be wielding a sword bigger than you, and it doesn't matter. Not only can you swing it with a D12's worth of damage, you don't have disadvantage on your attacks, and you can throw it 30 feet. This is absolutely wild, and it is absolutely 10 out of 10. Just the idea that you can punch for D12 is crazy. That if you take the dual wielder feat, you can do that twice for a D12 attack. And you don't even need a weapon. You can do it with anything. Improvised weapons it's just so good, and it's 10 out of 10, no question. The other thing you get at level 3 is called Imbued by the Gods. This gives you the feature where you counts as a size larger for moving things, pushing, pulling, and lifting, which is a ribbon feature. But you also gain expertise in intimidation, proficiency bonus, and you double your proficiency bonus. This is a cool thing because basically, even though barbarians seem really big and intimidating, intimidation is still a charisma-based skill. And unless you invest in your charisma, your intimidation isn't going to work very well. But taking expertise in intimidation buffs you with double proficiency bonus. Even here at level 3, if you have completely dumped your charisma and it's an 8, that's a -1 modifier, expertise in intimidation gives you the +3 to intimidation. And if you haven't dumped charisma and you make it like your tertiary stat, congratulations. Now you've got an intimidation that would make a bard go, wow, man, that's pretty good. This is awesome. And obviously it's a skill expertise, which I love, and a ribbon feature. I say still 9 out of 10 here. And that's all just level 3. At level 6, you get the ability Adaptable Combatant, and this powers up your brute strength. First of all, you gain a climbing speed equal to your walking speed, so now you have some more mobility. Also, when you grapple a creature, normally the rules in D&D say that to grapple a creature, you must be no more than one size smaller than them. So as a medium-sized Old Gods barbarian, you could grapple a large creature, but nothing bigger. This says you can grapple something 2 times bigger than you. So as a medium-sized creature, you can grapple a huge monster, potentially. You also can move them your full speed. Normally, if you're grappling a creature and you try to drag them with you, you can move half your movement speed during the grapple. But now you can move your full speed. A huge creature, let's be clear, is an adult dragon. You could walk up to an adult dragon, hold them, as long as you succeed the grapple check, and they can't fly away because their speed is dropped to 0, and then you can drag them your full speed, but it gets even wilder. When you have a creature grappled, you can utilize that creature as an improvised weapon. What? That's insane. Like, I mean, that's one thing if you're grappling, like, another humanoid, another medium-sized creature. You can grapple them, grab them by their arms or their ankles, and swing them and hit a creature, for a D12, I might add, doing damage to your target, and the creature that you're grappling, they take damage equal to your strength modifier, plus your proficiency bonus, which is already, like, now you're hurting 2 creatures. But it blows my mind that now you can do this with huge creatures. You can grab a dragon's tail, grappling it, drag it 30 or 40 feet, and swing it over your head and hit someone with it. That's completely mind-blowing. Like, I've never seen anything like this. I mean, even the giant barbarian and the rune knight that can grow to large sizes don't become able to drag enemies and improvise weapon them. This is on a whole nother level. Oh, one other thing. Your weapon attacks become magical, for the purposes of overcoming resistance, which is nice. That's cool. I was a little distracted by me grabbing a huge dragon's tail and swinging them over my head to care. This is 10 out of 10. I wish I could give it 20 out of 10. This is quite possibly the coolest feature I've ever seen in a barbarian ever. Oh, also, at level 6, you get another feature, Sturdy Build, where when you begin your rage, or when your rage ends, you can choose to use hit dice just like you'd completed a short rest. So, you don't even need short rests anymore. You can just use your hit dice to heal yourself when you rage or when you stop raging. So if you begin a fight and your health is low, don't worry, I've got some back. If you end a fight and you're on death's door, nah, I'm not, I'm good. It's cool. That's a nice feature. 8 out of 10 I gave that one, but I'm still distracted by adaptable combatant. Then at level 10, you get the Brutal Kills power. Once per short rest, when you reduce a creature to 0 hit points, you can tear them apart, ripping off their limbs in a sort of blood fury. When you do this, any creature that can see you, or the enemy that can see you, I should say, your allies are immune to this, have to make a saving throw, a wisdom save, or be frightened of you for 1 minute. There is no repeat save, by the way, because if you saw this barbarian, first of all, grab a dragon's tail, swing it over his head to hit someone, and then kill it by ripping its tail off, yeah, you're going to be scared of him, and you're not going to come close to him. Because why the hell would you? Now, unfortunately, this is a saving throw based effect. You have to kill someone to do it, and you can only use it once per short rest. But still, it's an 8 out of 10 power. A fear effect. Nothing to scoff at there. Give your enemies disadvantage, Undoes your reckless attack advantage against them. So, finally at level 14, you gain Gift of the Gods. And this one grants you a couple things. When you're raging, you can attack 3 times with an attack action. Normally barbarians get extra attack. Now they get triple attack, just like fighters do. So that's nice. They also can grapple anything. So yeah, now you can grapple gargantuan creatures, ancient dragons. You could pick the Tarrasque up, in theory, and pull it with you. I suppose if they're immune to grapple, you can't, but basically you can grapple anybody and swing them over your head as a weapon. When you throw an improvised weapon, this includes creatures that you've grappled, you can add your strength score to the range. Normally it's a 30-foot throw, unless it specifies otherwise. 60-foot with disadvantage. Now you can add another 20 feet to that, because you probably have maxed your strength by this point. So that's nice. When you shove a creature, you can push them 10 feet instead of 5 feet, because why the heck not? Yeah, this is 10 out of 10 too. And this Old Gods Barbarian is 10 out of 10. I don't even care about the math or the averages like I normally do, because I've never seen a power like this before. You can grapple basically anything. You can swing your enemies against your enemies. And just, this is insane. And even if you're not doing that, if you don't want to be a grappler, you can still punch for a D12, pick up a pair of sticks and hit someone for D12 as long as they're not light items. With the dual wielder feat, you can do that. It's nuts. This is nuts. This is so strong and has the ridiculous amount of power. Like, this has more battlefield control power than a spellcaster. Even spellcasters can usually have to use their magic to move items, creatures with telekinesis. But you get yourself, like, really strong strength score, maybe take a feat that grants you expertise in athletics or something, and you're just not losing. Like, you can't be stopped. You can grab anyone, drag them, throw them, hit people with them. I say 10 out of 10, and if you can't tell, I'm absolutely mesmerized by this subclass and want to play it yesterday. But genuinely, the Old Gods Barbarian, very strong, very powerful, very unique, and I say 10 out of 10, easy. This has been the Relaxed Fantasy Review. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe down below. Have a look for the join button down there, as well as a link to Ghostfire Games, where you can buy Sebastian Crow's Guide to Drakkenheim for yourself, where you can get this insane subclass. Thank you, Dungeon Dudes, for making my day and creating this insane barbarian. I love it. Have a good one, my friends.